Camden House, Inc., was founded in 1979 by Professors James Hardin and Gunther Holst with the purpose of publishing scholarly books in the field of German literature, Austrian literature, and German language culture. Camden House books were published in Columbia, South Carolina until 1998. When the company became an imprint in that year, place of publication moved to Rochester, New York. Early publication history. The series Studies in German Literature, Language, and Culture was established in that same year and continues to the present. Over 350 books in this series have appeared as of 2011. The Camden House areas of interest expanded over the following years under the direction of James Hardin, Emeritus Professor at the University of South Carolina. German language literature in Austria and Switzerland were added to the purview of Camden House early in its history. The new series Literary Criticism in Perspective was established in the following decade, and in time broadened to include American and British literature. The aim of this more specialized series was, and is, to elucidate the role of literary criticism over the years, to show how it is subject to varying vogues and philosophical or critical viewpoints, and how criticism itself is a mirror of changing taste and critical bias. Publications since the late 1980s. In the late 1980s, Camden House increasingly sought out highly qualified scholars to write or edit commissioned works, especially in its companion series. It was fortunate in locating and working with prominent Germanists who brought out companions to the works of such canonical writers as Hartmann von Auer, Friedrich Schiller, Heinrich von Kleist, Heinrich Heine, Thomas Mann, Rainer Maria Rilke, Franz Kafka, and many others over the next 2 decades. In addition, companions to major works were commissioned and published, including books focused on Goethe's Faust, The Nibelungenlied, Gottfried von Strasberg's Tristan, and Mann's Magic Mountain. Distinct periods in the history of German literature were treated in companions to German realism and German expressionism. Additionally, Camden House established in its first decade of operation a series developed by James Hardin titled Literary Criticism in Perspective, which not only provides the reception history of a given German or Austrian literary work, but records the changing nature of literary criticism itself over the years. Another important aspect of the German program included translations of such key works as Hans Jacob Christoffel von Grimmelshausen's Simplicissimus, the first great German novel, Johann Beer's early comic novel Deutsche Winternichte, and Goethe's Wilhelm Meister's Theatralische Sendung, the neglected forerunner to the prototype of the Bildungsroman, Wilhelm Meister's Apprenticeship. Publication of individually authored monographs on numerous prominent German writers have appeared in the Camden House list, as well as numerous works on German film, theater, song, satire, Holocaust literature, literature of the German Democratic Republic, and Austrian literature. The 10-volume Camden House History of German Literature, which appeared over a period of 6 years with completion in 2007, treats German literature in extended essays beginning with the earliest Germanic literature, including Gothic, and discusses in detail not only the literary high points of German literature, the High Middle Ages, the Age of Goethe, early 20th century works, but also generally neglected periods such as the early modern period. About this volume a reviewer wrote, "The editor and the contributors are to be praised for having accomplished a truly Herculean task through which this period finally received the recognition it deserves. There is nothing comparable on the German, or any other, scholarly book market. The CH history is prima facie the most voluminous recent analysis of German literature in English. It engaged the collaboration of Germanists from the US, the UK, Germany, Austria, and Australia. This is perhaps the most significant achievement to date of Camden House. In recent years, Camden House has branched out into North American literature, extending its series, Literary Criticism in Perspective, in that area and having launched a European Studies in North American Literature and Culture in 1996. Part of the latter series is the 605-page History of Literature in Canada, English Canadian and French Canadian. Camden House's second major literary history and one of the extremely few histories of Canadian literature to discuss both Canadian literature, written in English, and Canadian literature written in French in a balanced way. In 1998, Camden House became an imprint of its longtime distributor, Boyd and Amp Brewer, and has continued to publish books in all the areas described above under the editorship of James Walker, who has been associated with the firm since 1994. James Hardin remains a consulting editor with Camden House.